cycle tour every year. Cyclists do this route all the way to Simonstown, and on those days when the cycle tour is taking place, this route is closed. So it's one of those days that we as tour guides, we don't want to come to Cape Town and do a tour when you have to tell people that, well, there's a cycle tour happening, or there's a Two Oceans Marathon happening, or the Sanlam Marathon happening, so you can't do the Cape of Good Hope. You know, so imagine coming all the way from England to Cape Town, and it's a once in a lifetime trip, and you can't go to Cape Cape of Good Hope. Anyway, so the town that we're coming into now, it's Hout Bay. The town that I said it's known for fishing activities. So there's a big fishing harbor down at the bottom of the town. So that's where they catch snook. So the town Hout Bay means Wood Bay. Wood Bay. The reason they called it Wood Bay was because when the Dutch settlers settled in the Cape, then there was lots of yellowwood tree here, which is a very strong wood which they used for construction of wagons. Then they called it Wood Bay, which is the first impression of the area that they got when they got here. So there's lots of, you can see on the left hand side, those houses with no space, very congested to each other. That is a township of Hout Bay. So migration of people from the rural areas into big cities remains a big problem in South Africa, because there's no jobs in the rural areas due to underdevelopment. South Africa has an unemployment rate of 34.7%, which is very high. So people move to the city, to the big cities, and then there's problem with housing, and then they just pitch the shacks. So now, if winter comes, then people get killed in shack fires because it gets cold, there's no electricity, and then they make fires. And of course, candles for lighting, and they forget to turn it off, and then while they're sleeping, then one shack catches fire because they all congested next to each other, and then it burns the entire neighborhood, and then people die and leave hundreds of them homeless. So now the government of the Western Cape has decided to install those shacks with electricity to try and curb the problem of shack fires. Ever since electricity has been installed in those shacks, shack fires has gone down. So it is helping, even though the life of living in the shacks is never comfortable, because lots of them are made with corrugated iron sheets. In the summer, it's cooking inside, it's boiling hot, and in winter it's freezing cold. So it's never nice to live in a shack. So when Nelson Mandela's government came into power in 1994, their top priority was to eradicate the shacks. So lots of houses, which people referred to as Mandela houses, were built. So in some of the towns, and as you get into town, you see uniformed houses, small, next to each other, with no trees, nothing. They just laying bare in the open land. Those are the government houses that the people refer to as Mandela houses. But now, the program was overwhelmed by corruption, and we don't see houses being built now. So that was also another effort to improve people's life. But now the problem with those houses is that people applied for those houses, and then they will relocate people to some areas. Normally those shacks are in the area where people can walk to industrial areas to look for work. All right, now you relocate relocate them far from there, and now they need transport to get to the industrial areas, and they don't have money. So what they did was to sell those houses or rent them out, go back into the shacks again. So and then apply for another house, and then they relocate them to somewhere else, sell the house, you know. So it was like the government kept on chasing a moving object. So it was never a solution. So instead, then they, at the later stage, then they decided to build the houses where those people live. So migration of people is still happening even in our days, and now we get lots of people from our neighboring countries. So on a clear day when the weather is good, you see lots of them as you come into Holt Bay here, sitting on the side of the road, because some of them are coming from Malawi, from Zimbabwe, from Mozambique. They have skills. So painters, gardeners, you name them. So they have skills, but they can't be employed because we have high unemployment rate in South Africa, and some of them are in the country illegally. They are undocumented, so they sit by the side of the road. So if you have some job that needs to be done in your house, then you come and pick one up, does the job, pay them, and then you're good.